Welcome to the State of the City Address. My name is Valerie Zagalonis, and I'm the president nominee, and I'm filling in for our president, Matt Caddy, who could not be with us today. This event is a collaboration of Trenton Rotary Club and the Trenton Business Association, and we'd like to thank our friends from Beaumont and MFC. They were our sponsors, so thank you very much. We appreciate it. Just a couple housekeeping. If everyone can please silence their phones. I also need to make everyone aware this is being videoed for the local cable. With that, we'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I hope everybody got their raffle tickets. As you came in today, everybody should have a couple raffle tickets. No? Need to go get one. At this time, I'd like to introduce Deacon Bob Bovitz to do our invocation.
Well, sure as God, glad to be back. I was on vacation 2 or 3 years of not being here. I do remember the years, though, that, in fact, I saw them yesterday. Mayor Jerry Brown was in town, and I remember him looking at that clock, and I don't know what the time limit is now these days, but he'd say 1 o'clock is my limit. They'd gong up. It went past 1. So I'll keep my part very short. One of the things, I tell people back when I was involved in city government, they say, well, that was the year I was born. Because it was 1969 through 1976 as council, and then 77 through 83 as mayor. So I had the opportunity during those years to know and at least have conversations with all of the mayors since the beginning of Trenton. That was Bob Typer was the very first mayor, and now I know the last and current mayor, our father. See, I have a spiritual background. Steve, you're in good shape. Mayor Steve, who is going to be a great mayor. But during that time, I had a chance to meet and be with many of the mayors since the very beginning. I got to know them, know how they did or didn't do, and when we lost our last mayor, Mayor Kyle, it was truly a loss. She would rank really up high in the history of all the Trenton mayors. So we miss her very much. So let us pray. Father, we thank you for the many blessings you have bestowed on our community of Trenton. Thank you especially for the tremendous leadership and community service represented here today. Mayor Steve and City Council, and who lead us with dedication. And my wife reminded me, he says it's Mayor Steve Zeppa, and that she's a real Polish way. Our city department heads and officers, the Trenton Rotary with their many outstanding projects servicing various aspects of our city, the Trenton Business Association supporting each other and representing the business voice in our city. We thank you, Father, for the continued providence you've showered on our city. Thank you for our great home. Of course, we have to remember those who have no home, and hopefully we'll find them soon. Now may we be joined in body and spirit for the work of service to our community, Trenton. We ask this in your Son's name, Jesus. Amen.
Trenton Rotary Club meets here every Monday at noon and every second Monday of the month at Sibley Gardens. So please check us out. We also have a website, trentonrotary.net. Love to encourage all of you to consider being members of our wonderful organization. I'd like to make a couple announcements regarding some of our upcoming events. We have Shamrockin' on the River, March 7th. Tickets are $55 or a table of 10 for $500. Absolutely a fun event. You'll be supporting a great organization who continuously gives back to this community locally and even worldwide. So please consider that, mark your calendar. We also have a great children's event called the Family Fun Fair. It's going to be September 22nd. You talk about a free event to bring your children to. We have a puppeteer, a magician, Carrie the Clown, there's face painting, there's free lunch. If anybody would like to sponsor, sponsorships are as low as $25, so please consider being a sponsorship for this free community event. Lastly, we have a blood drive, and it's February 24th, right here at the Westfield Center. It's from 1 to 7, and this particular blood drive is very special to many people as it is in memory of Kyle Stack. On a sad note, I also need to make an announcement. Michael Concessi, one of our members, many of you may recognize the Concessi name. Please keep him and his family in your prayers as he lost his mother, Catherine Concessi. With that, I'd like to introduce our Trenton Business Association President, Chriselle Kohler.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming. Here, the Trenton Business Association would like to thank the Rotary for participating in this event for the state of the city of Trenton. Thank you. We also like to thank Rotarians who are members of the Trenton Business Association. And if you're not, we'd like to invite you to join us. We meet second Thursday of every month at a Trenton Business Association restaurant member. So please come join us. We would like to list off, because we think it's important, the past 17 years of previous winners. So bear with us, but we think you'd like to know, just as a reminder of all the awesome businesses we have. First, we have Dr. Jackson, Snyder, and Parker, Oakwood South Shore, Home Sweet Home, The Framery, Metro Shores Credit Union, Colors by Kim, Fritz Enterprises, Mr. Handyman, Savannah's, Dan's Barbershop, West Range Pharmacy, The European Boutique, Savannah's again, The Lighthouse, Captain's Headquarters, Roundhouse Barbecue, and last year, Open Book Theater. And also last year, we had Business Person of the Year, John McNally. This year is no exception. We'd like to call up the nominees. We have Virtuago, Jeremy, and his wife, Christina. If you'd like to come up, please. And also, from Trenton Forging, we have David Maxlow and his daughter, Chelsea. It was noted that Truago's customers appreciated the indoor-outdoor dining and food as well as their commitment to community. And Trenton Forging is known for its dedication to vocational training of their employees in bringing good paying jobs to our city. Both businesses have been cited with excellence in service and employee benefits. We'd like to welcome and give appreciation to these two businesses. Our Business of the Year will celebrate 4 years at their West Jefferson location. Over these last years, this great new restaurant venue has proven itself with unique cuisine and fun atmosphere. The Trenton Business of the Year is Truago. Congratulations. Thanks again. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mike McCullough and Dr. Jackson.
Operate. Thank you. We're gonna stay up front, please. How much you want to sit in the back?
Anyways, welcome. This has been a great gathering here, and I'm so proud to be here. Today is Monday, February 3rd, and it's a great day to be a resident of the city of Trenton. It's a great day to be a Trenton Rotarian because we're about to induct 2 new members, and we appreciate your patience while we go through that. We're going to keep it as short and mindful that we all have busy schedules. So while I tell you a little bit about Rotary, I want to have our 2 prospective members. Somebody's pointing at me. Is my fly down? Okay, thank you very much. Karen, anything else I got going here? No, thank you very much. Anyways, I'd like to call our 2 newest prospective members. They're seated at the same table, and that's Krista Schaefer-Eubank and Ann Ridicell. Krista is the Open Book Artistic Director, and Ann is the Director for the Downriver for Vets. And so there are new prospective members. You know, we're all parts of different families. There's the Beaumont family, there's the City of Trenton family, there's my family, there's the Rotary family, and we're about to grow 2 members and make our family a little bit larger. But I want to tell you a couple things that it isn't. And Karen, this is directed to you and the table back there and our deputy treasurer. It's not a secret organization. It's a Rotary thing. No, it's not. It's not about a secret oath. It's no secret handshake, at least that they've told me of. No funny hats. We don't wear the funny hats. Except for shamrocking on the river, New Year's Eve, maybe Halloween. So I guess there is some of the funny hats. But the bottom line is, all we're asking for you folks to do is to do 3 things. And one of them is to be there, attend. Number 2 is pay your dues. It's important to pay your dues. As a treasurer, I'm very important. And number 3 is you've got to enjoy Rotary. And to help you enjoy Rotary, I want to bring up your sponsors. These are very important people. These are folks that looked around and said, hey, we need so-and-so to be part of our group, part of our family. And so I'd like to introduce or bring up, if you would, Wes Mader. Wes Mader is a sponsor for Krista. And there's also Kathy Kane, sponsor for Ann. And Noel Jackson. Sponsor for Ann. Anyways, it's very, very important. And so what Rotary does do, what Rotary is, it's about a group of people, professionals and business people, who are united, who look around the community and try to spot those areas in which we can add value. We are part of paying it forward. We want to improve the community, the quality of life, not only in our community, but in the world. And so with your help, as you join this group, you're going to help us do what our mission is, and that's to make things a little bit better, to make a difference. With that, I'm going to hand it over to our district governor-elect. He'll be district governor next year, right here from Trenton, businessman. 5 months. But who's counting? Anyways, Noel's going to do the oath of office.
Anyone notice that Mike takes his first name seriously? Get the mic away from him. So, you know, Mike was a district governor going a way back. And then he's also worked his way through Rotary International, which is an amazing organization. He served as a Rotary International director. And so I'm following way behind his tracks, but so gratefully doing that. What a great leader in Rotary, and I am so proud to be able to move forward as a leadership part in Rotary as a district governor. So thank you, Mike. So Rotary has a vision. And our vision is together we see a world where people unite, take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. That's a big vision. And that's really how big the vision of Rotary International is. So we're asking you today, you too, and I know you'll gratefully join this vision and be part of us and help us build those things. not only across the globe and in our community, but also in ourselves. And I know that you'll add a lot to our club to help make my life more significant, as I hope that I can reflect back to you and help make your lives more significant. We've asked you to join us because you exemplify quality of character and have made contributions to the community of value that we look for in our members. In accepting membership, you will be representing your Rotary Club in the larger world of Rotary. We're proud to bring you into Rotary as new members of the world's largest humanitarian service organization. Welcome to the Trenton Rotary and the family of Rotary. We'll now pin the new members with their sponsors. So they're going to get pins, and then they're going to get booklets that start to explain Rotary. But Rotary isn't one thing. Rotary is just about anything that you want it to be. Sometimes I like to say Rotary is the best accessory that you could have for your life to make your life better in any way that you would like to make it. So if we could have a round of applause for our two newest members in Rotary International, Ann and Krista. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, we appreciate it. You're part, then you don't have to speak.
No. Oh, yes. Sure.
Can I hold the mic? Thank you.
Okay, I have another hat that I'm wearing here today. It's tied in with Rotary. We have a initiative that we're working on for this next year. We're working on it throughout our district. And our district goes all the way from Adrian, Michigan to Essex, Ontario, from about 8 Mile in Detroit down to the Ohio border. So we've got this big area. We have 50 Rotary clubs. And we're having the Rotary clubs create a peace chain. And a chain is made up of links. And links are any individual or organization in our community that contributes to the strength, stability, and peacefulness of our communities. So who could that be? Could be just about anyone. It could be any organization, Little League Baseball, it could be a theater organization like DIPAC, somebody who's working with food pantries, people that are working in gardens, anyone that's contributing to our quality of life in our community. So we're going to identify those people throughout the year and give them Link Awards. And of course, at the end of the year, a fun thing is to bring all the links together and have a peace chain celebration, which we will have like next March. So today, we're going to award a link in the peace chain to Stephen Rizzepa for his efforts to make our community stronger, more stable, and more peaceful. Steve Rizzepa, thank you so much. Wait a second. I had to pass this to somebody here. Oh, wait a second. I think I'm passing this to you.
Sure. We've only got an hour, by the way.
All right. I do have a patient about 45 minutes, okay?
Well, hello, everybody. I found out I was getting that Peace Link Award about 15 minutes ago, so I don't have a separate speech prepared. I figured we'll just roll it right on here together. I know that we have 1:30 for adjournment on there, but trust me, I'll still try and shoot for Mr. Bovitz's 1 o'clock rule here, too. So I first off just wanted to say thank you very much to everyone for being here today, but especially thank you to both the Trenton Business Association and the Trenton Rotary Club for all their efforts in putting this event on today, and really every year. It always turns out fantastic, so just a special round of applause go out. A special thank you too, especially to Roundhouse here. The lunch was fantastic because I know that alone I am certainly not worth the price of admission, so that at least you got that out of it. So thank you very much. Did want to recognize the elected officials we have in attendance today, outside of myself. First, would have to, I'm certainly biased, but the best member of Congress that we could possibly have, Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. I think she may have actually just stepped out just a few minutes ago, but wanted to make sure everyone knew she was here. Got to spend the morning with her as well. We have Wayne County Commissioner Joe Palmera here with us today. Baron Camilleri here today too. Joining me from the city of Trenton, we have Councilman Bill LaFever here. Mayor Pro Tem, Councilman Rick Benedetti. I caught myself on not saying newest earlier, but second newest member of council, Councilwoman Wendy Pate. Is here. Our city treasurer, certainly last, towards the end, but not least, Mike McCullough. John Dahlquist is here. Debbie Devitt. From our school board, I think that is our newest member, Heather Lear is here. I don't think I missed anyone. I tried to just chicken stretch and that's here. Okay, no one shouted at me. All right, cool. And I think that I would certainly be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity as well. That if we could all do a moment of silence for my predecessor, and certainly we wouldn't all be here being able to celebrate many of these things today without her. But Mayor Kyle Stagg, if we could all join together in a moment of silence there. Thank you. So I made some remarks a few weeks ago at our City Awards banquet. A lot of it I think is really applicable to the event today, and I apologize for those that may have to hear it again. But it's really, really easy to be cynical about the state of affairs in the world. It doesn't matter what network you're tuning into, what time of day it is, what social media platform you're logging on. In this climate, it's really easy to get discouraged. I think that puts it a little bit lightly. But today, like so many of the other events in our community that we have throughout the year, this is an opportunity for us, an opportunity to show that cynicism, that vitriol is a refuge for cowards. That there are people all around, not only our city, but across the state, across the country, across the world, working to do good every single day, to try and leave the world a better place than we all found it. We have an opportunity today to highlight all those good things happening in our community, the people that are doing the things that oftentimes do go unnoticed, but make such a huge difference in our day-to-day lives and how we treat one another. That it means that we have the opportunity to show how we care about one another, about how we encourage each other, and what we do to support each other to make a difference for the people that live in Trenton and that we're going to live here for decades after we're all gone. I'm very, very proud to be here today, and I'm very excited to be able to highlight some of these things. It really is an honor, and I think getting right into it, we'll start with our police and fire departments too. Two departments that we have a whole lot to be proud of. Particularly, this past year, Trenton was ranked the number 9 safest city in the state of Michigan. To recognize our director, Steve Voss, and police chief, Todd Scheffler, who are here, and our fire chief, Dean Creech, as well, who are all part of that. Number 9 safest city in Michigan, that's incredible. And this is so incredible that it got notice from the FBI, who required us to submit in writing why our crime statistics were so low. And after Director Voss told them that all you have to do is just cross out the 0 on the end, and it's really easy to send the forms in, and that's how you get the 9 safest city. I'm kidding, just for all, I know this is being taped, that is a joke, but it really is because of our officers doing the work every day, have done such a phenomenal job of forming bonds in the community, about being proactive about things, about doing their jobs very, very well. Not only that, but they have the support of the community here. The people that live here know what that dynamic is like, and without both sides being able to work together on those types of things, we wouldn't even be having that conversation. So that's something we certainly have to be proud of. Our Trenton police officers were trained in the use of Narcan to assist in saving lives when it appears that someone may have overdosed on heroin or fentanyl. Fortunately/unfortunately, our officers have had to use this numerous times throughout 2019, but as a result, lives were saved, and there are people here today because of this training. The Trenton Police Department has teamed up with the Trenton Public Schools to enhance the safety and security measures across our schools to make sure that we're all up to date and in compliance there. Our police department oversaw the implementation of safety systems, including panic alarms, key cards for buildings for police officers, and real-time camera access to the schools to our dispatch center. Our partnership with the school resource officer has continued to go fantastic for both the city and the schools. Our officers were able to attend a tremendous amount of additional on-the-job training programs, including, but certainly not limited to, the Michigan State University Staff and Command Training, Pipeline Incident Training, Incident Command System Training, REID Interview Technique Training, Dealing with Autistic Individuals Training, Close Quarter Combat Training, FBI Professional Development Training, and many more specialized classes that help us get that number 9 ranking. We're going to have a new member of our department soon here as well, a new canine. We'll be looking right now for a dog will be selected sometime this year, along with a new handler for that job, that dog. And of course, in fantastic tribute, that canine will be named Stack. Our fire department, under the leadership of Chief Creech, has responded over the course of the year to approximately 2,500 fire and EMS calls over the course of the year, certainly keeping very busy. We've continued our very successful fire inspection and home fire detector installation programs that have helped hundreds, if not thousands, every single year. We've also, as you hopefully, you may have noticed, unfortunately or fortunately, but we have upgraded our ambulance fleet as well, adding a new ambulance to serve the citizens for hopefully at least another decade. In Parks and Recreation, I believe, unfortunately, Director Joanne Gagne is not here today, but I think I saw Tim. Oh, should make it, okay, cool, good. Parks and Rec Director Joanne Gagne is here. Dedicated the long-awaited West Jefferson Trail Connector on June 1st, 2019. We were able to establish the Trenton Trailtown Advisory Committee and begin work on the Trailtown Initiative to move that forward. The implementation project will help Trenton leverage its trail assets for community and economic development for years to come. The city has also applied for Pure Michigan Trailtown status, and as part of that application, a resolution by council was passed and formally adopted. The Trailtown Master Plan established a Trailtown Advisory Committee and supports the Pure Michigan Trailtown designation. The city is working in partnership with the Detroit River International Wildlife Refuge on their grand opening, long-awaited grand opening of the Refuge Gateway and John Dingell Visitor Center, which will be set for Saturday, May 9th, 2020. The city continues to make improvements to parks as outlined in our capital improvements plan every year. In 2019, the Parks and Rec Department conducted community playground improvement projects with the help of community volunteers, including probably some folks in this room here, at the Sycamore and Cambridge tot lots and at Lions Park. This past fall, the planting day at MacArthur Park, which was unfortunately postponed a couple times due to weather, was finally held, where community volunteers were able to help plant trees, shrubs, and perennials to help finish the nature-based park project. We also, thank you again, Commissioner Palmer, with the help here, received the confirmation of a $52,000 grant from Wayne County in November 2019 to be used to make improvements to Affolter Park at the tennis and basketball courts there. The grant will also be leveraged as match funds for a DNR passport grant application that will be submitted this coming spring. Our summer programs, we have put an emphasis on healthy eating and exercise quite a bit more. We feel that this would be a good fit, especially with the Healthy Trenton initiative, and offered some new classes, including We Heart Animals in partnership with the Woodhaven Trenton Animal Shelter, which was a huge hit for the participants, and continued the summertime preschool and elementary classes as well to keep kids engaged all year round. The Special Needs Activity Program, or SNAP, as it's so commonly referred, provided for 6 fun-filled weeks of field trips every weekday for younger people with cognitive impairment from ages 10 to 25 years old in the Downriver area. The program meets Monday through Friday and provides participants with educational and recreational activities across our community in the Metro Detroit area. The SNAP objectives are really to provide a safe, fun and caring environment for the campers where they can make new friends, develop a sense of accomplishment, build self-esteem, and explore new and unique opportunities in the area. The summer campers worked at Westcroft Community Grown Gardens on Groseal every Wednesday, where they learned a lot of basics of gardening, growing plants and caring for produce and all, some skills that I apparently have need to work on refining based on the looks of the plant in my house. But the summer campers did a great job there, and we're also able to visit the Detroit Zoo, the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum, the U of M Museum of Natural History, go to a Tigers game, and do a whole lot more. The program has done an incredible job. It was one of the program's best fundraising years as well, in partnership with St. Paul Lutheran Church for their Healthy K Trenton 5K run. We're able to receive a $5,000 donation. The SNAP campers said that this was one of the best summers that they'd ever had as well. We also have a series of holiday-themed events throughout the year, including the Boo Bash, with crafts, games, face painting, pony rides, bonfires, in partnership with the Trenton Exchange Club, Sweets and Treats, which is a series of holiday-themed cooking classes for kids at the Trenton Cultural Center, which has Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and the likes, along with Christmas events, including the Victorian Tea, the Picture Perfect Country Christmas at the Cultural Center, which have been led by a lot of volunteer and civic groups, along with a partnership with the Trenton Firefighter Charities for an event called Yuletide Magic at the Chateau on the River, with crafts, cookie decorating, bonfire, s'mores, photos with Santa and the likes, which also helped us highlight all of the light show at the park and Elizabeth Park there as well. Certainly, lastly but not least there, but the community garden was the 10th year of operations for the Trenton Community Garden, and it really closed out strongly with a record year, a harvest of 8,625 pounds of organically grown produce that fed needy families in the area. Truly an incredible job by all the volunteers that go into that. It was an all-time high for productivity with 2.6 pounds per square foot in the garden. And I wanted to make sure I got all these listed here. It was able to produce 1,180 pounds of onions, 1,053 pounds of lettuce, 836 pounds of summer squash, 452 pounds of radishes, 289 pounds of beets, 474 pounds of butternut squash, 396 pounds of carrots, and 63 pounds of peas. So, what's that?
No eggplant?
Eggplant, I guess not this time, so we'll put in the request for next year. This year was able to serve, though, the produce from the garden was able to serve an average of 210 families a week. That's something that's truly incredible. And the produce went to 5 different pantries over the course of the year. And sometimes that produce, the haul was so large that they had to find extra pantries to give it to, which is certainly a good problem to have. It's tough to quantify the gift in terms of dollars because it is given at no cost, but they do feel that the retail value was just over $32,000 worth of produce for the year. Yeah, that's it. Thank you everyone. We're continuing to work diligently to make improvements to the Westfield Center. As everyone here probably noticed, fresh coats of paint, flooring replacement in many of the other rooms, the fireplace room, the drop-in center, offices, joining area. We're going to continue to chip away at those things as best as we are able to. The Kennedy Recreation Center continues this week, actually, coming up. The MIHL High School Hockey Showcase for the 20th year, with 42 high school teams coming to show off in front of scouts from different junior programs, colleges, universities, and the likes. The Learn to Skate program has also maintained over 250 skaters this winter, leading and led the 54th Jamboree on Ice. Will showcase skaters at all levels coming up at the end of April. We already have 12 additional tournaments scheduled in the city of Trenton here. Teams coming as far as Los Angeles, Dallas, and Anchorage to fight for championships at different age levels and programs there. The Kennedy Recreation Center is still home to 5 varsity high school hockey teams, 1 JV hockey team, 30 youth hockey teams, and an astounding 70 adult hockey teams right now. allowing the doors to open to the arena more than 500,000 times for the year. That's truly incredible numbers, particularly with adult hockey. You won't see me skating out there, trust me. Open skating and other drop-in events. I've also seen an increase last year of 22% more participation than the year prior. Kennedy Aquatic Center, families are already gearing up for summer membership passes and whatnot. The pool attendance continued to grow since 2017 with 23% more visitors in 2019 and a target of 2020 to be the most financially productive in over 5 years. The pool every day begins at 7 a.m. welcoming the Trenton Swim Club, swim lessons, water aerobics until noon, when drop-in swimming becomes available for the general public. The Trenton High School girls team calls the Aquatic Center home and kicks off their season every year with early scrimmages at the end of August. The Elizabeth Park Marina is also continuing to improve upon the great numbers in our partnership with Wayne County there. In combination with the Detroit Sports Commission, the arena will host some of the largest walleye and bass tournaments in the country, with visitors from all over North America coming to Trenton just to fish in the river. Fantastic asset that we have there. Currently there are 8 tournaments scheduled for the summer already. Don't worry, just a couple more pages, I promise. The Trenton Library, just across the parking lot here, continues to host 4 local communities, Trenton, Brownstown, Roseville, and Woodhaven. The library, over the course of the last year, greeted 324,000 visitors in and out of the library, along with the host of the events for the Trenton Memorial Day Parade, the Trenton and Roseville Summer Festivals, and events like Brownstown and Woodhaven Trunk or Treat Kids Days that they have a presence for as well. The Trenton Library circulated on average 11,000 physical library materials per month. Patrons continue to have access to digital ebooks and e-audio books in the library, with roughly 3,100 of those circulated monthly as well. We offer downloadable magazines there and have added a new digital platform called Hoopla, which allows patrons to check out not only the ebooks and audio books, but movies, music, and TV shows as well. There's also, for those that may not know, an in-house access to an ancestry library, as well as a partnership with the Trenton Historical Society, who offers genealogy workshops twice a month, which is very, very cool. In addition to the regular programs like the Wednesday morning story times for pre-K children, which average 250 children a month, and book discussions for adults. There's been some new programs added this year, including the Read to a Dog for grades K to 5th, yoga and books for 4 to 10-year-olds, and a craft club for 13 years old to adults. Anyone can sign up to receive the monthly e-newsletter on the website to stay up to date on the programs offered. In total, 530 teens participated in the Summer Reading Club at the Trenton Library, with 4,535 children and caregivers attending one program or another at the library over the course of the summer. Truly fantastic. And thank you as our library director, Aaron Chapman, here as well, too. I want to make sure I recognize her. Next, in our building and engineering department, I think our city engineer, Bill Hogan, is here. Our building permit projections for 2019 at a robust pace with over $9 million in construction value added here for 2019 alone, which is a huge, huge positive sign on a lot of fronts. The number of property transfer inspections were 433, which is an outstanding number as well, with 9 new homes and 5 multifamily apartment buildings either completed or currently under construction, ready to go. We continue to maintain our partnership with the City of Gibraltar for our permitting and inspection services, which has been a great arrangement and shared service there. I know Mayor Stackett loves citing this number, and I certainly have to do the same. In 2008, the number of vacant properties, registered vacant properties in the City of Trenton was 852. That number heading into the 2020 calendar year was 1. That I think is certainly shows that over the last 10 years, that 851 formerly vacant properties have been inspected, renovated, and either reoccupied or are in the process of doing so right now. It really speaks to not only the outstanding quality of staff in our building department and the work that they do, but the overall attractiveness of the housing market in the city of Trenton, which certainly makes every one of us here happy. There's no question about that. In 2019, we welcomed 23 new businesses to town, including, I'm going to get all of them, Ace Services, JB Nails, Clausen Supply, Mr. Shawarma, A New You, Violeta's Tailoring, Nutrition Unlimited, Glow Salon, Famous Falafel, Supreme Lending, Arcs Cardiovascular, Athletico, Safe Spot Storage, Kevin James Menwear, Level 11 Physical Therapy, All About Grace Boutique, Downriver Auto Service, Laird and Laird Surgical, Bubble Puppy Daycare, Residence and Company, South Valley Internal Medicine, The Beauty Parlor, and Shell Gas Station. We currently also have 6 businesses already working on opening for 2020, including the Trenton Medical Park, Malik El Kebab, Greek Goddess, Hampton Manor, Quad Sports Complex, and the Clock Tower Project on West and West Jefferson. So really, really great things happening on that front in the city, there's no question. In terms of our Department of Public Service, we had 41 water main breaks that were tended to, and a terrific job was done by our water department in making those repairs, and also doing so in generally terrible weather conditions. Our goal is always to minimize the time that the water is shut off for residents and businesses alike. And while that can certainly be frustrating, working underground with utilities, often in those horrible storms and snowstorms, can also be very challenging and dangerous. But our water department's done a fantastic job handling those efficiently. We were hit with 4 major thunderstorms during the summer last season, and our forestry crews were able to remove and stump 317 trees because of that, trimmed an additional 225, and planted an additional 90 within parks and residential areas across town. We've got many big projects heading into 2020, including the Rotary Park Boardwalk replacement, which will be unfortunately very contingent on the record high water levels that we face there. Continued renovations and improvements at the Westfield Center here, coordination with DTE on the replacement of 1,900 gas service lines and meter conversions around town, and coordinating with Wayne County right here on the West Road Bridge replacement over the Franken Poet Drain. Along with, of course, the residential development of the former Owen School property, which will bring an additional 26 units into town. Our emergency management coordinator, Paul Haley, I'm not sure if he's here. Yep, he is. I just need to look at that table right there. That's easy enough. Continues to do a great job working with our city departments, the school district, local businesses, and several different layers of government to coordinate and provide leadership on overall safety, drills, and exercises to mitigate potential hazards and disasters there. On the IT front, we updated our audio and visual equipment in the council chambers so everyone can hear us much better, which I'm sure everyone was just really eager to do. We're also working right now on getting our website revamped to give it a much more modern and user-friendly feel as well. Our most recent audit from Plant Moran showed the city to be in a strong financial position going forward, all things considered. While we certainly will have some challenges that I'll talk about in a little bit, we aren't alone in Michigan with our unfortunate municipal financing model that we have. But our auditors did tell us that we were in the upper echelon of communities in Southeast Michigan for our financial overall fiscal health, and reported 0 journal entries, which, if you want me to explain what that is, I will direct you to our controller's department, so you may know. But all I know is that it's very good and very rare. So that's something we can be proud of there. From our assessors, and speaking of the same token of things going well for property values, our residential property values in the city of Trenton last year increased by 5.42% based on sales of property in town. We had 672 sales of residential parcels over the last 2 years and are getting back to the assessed values that we were at before the economic downturn. Our commercial values were relatively flat with about a 1% increase. But unfortunately, our industrial base is going to be decreased based on the DTE agreement that settled the 2018 appeal in the Michigan Tax Tribunal. Although those assessed values are higher now, the increase in 2020 that the city will be receiving is limited per Proposal A to about 1.9%. So, now there's a couple big things that everyone definitely wanted to hear about, and of course I'm going to talk about them. Really pleased to report today, to report about the demolition, cleanup, and remediation of the former McLeod Steel development continuing to move forward. I think it's been obvious to anyone who drives past that tremendous progress has been made, and a tremendous amount of work has gone into that since Crown Enterprises and MSC Land closed on the property a little over a year ago. To date, 39 buildings have been demolished on site, with only 9 remaining. If all goes well, it is hoped that the demolition of the remaining buildings will be completed by July of this year. The cleanup after the demolition will take several months and will likely last through the calendar year. And although cleanup, remediation, and monitoring of the site will continue for many years after, it's tremendously exciting, to put it lightly, to see that this demolition going forward when many people, at times myself included, thought that this might never happen. I say this to put it into perspective and not to date myself here. I don't remember that as a fully functioning steel mill. I remember that as the giant, obsolete, gross-looking building that greeted people coming into our town. And that's how it has been my entire life. Now we have that opportunity. And I really need to extend a thank you, obviously, to everyone that came before me to help make this happen, especially Mayor Stack. But to MSC Land, 21st Century Demolition, ASTI Environmental, Cogent Recovery, the US EPA, and the State of Michigan Department of Eagle for their efforts. And need to give a huge round of applause. Although that MSC Land is yet to announce or present a formal plan for the future use of the nearly 300-acre site, the City of Trenton, we all look forward to working towards a practical and responsible redevelopment of the site. And it's definitely my hope and expectation that the redevelopment will provide much-needed revenue, tax base, jobs for our community, and ensure a clean and safe environment for our residents now and for long after we're all gone. So very, very excited about the opportunities we're going to have here. For any of us that, or for anyone here that might watch the council meetings regularly, this time I get to report on what's going on at Riverside Hospital, rather than ask the question. But the former Riverside Hospital property, it remains a great concern. The site remains tied up in litigation, and this related to the city's demolition order and the property owner's alternative position that the site is safe and secure, fully code compliant, not blighted, and not an eyesore. While I'm limited what I can publicly state due to ongoing litigation, I can assure you that the city and staff and our legal representation are aggressively pursuing this fight in court, and we firmly believe that we deserve a property there that is not dangerous and harmful to the public. It's bar is not real high. As many of you are aware, unfortunately, the DTE Trenton Channel Power Plant is anticipated to be decommissioned and closed sometime in spring of 2022, a little over 2 years from now. And as many of you may also be aware, and I've made reference to that as well here today, DTE Energy filed a property tax appeal for the 2018 and 2019 tax years. DTE has historically been one of, if not the largest tax provider for the city of Trenton for decades. So this pending closure and resulting loss of revenue will be a significant blow to our community, there's no question. I am, however, pleased to report that the city and DTE were able to negotiate a settlement on the tax appeal to avoid a more costly or lengthy trial before the Michigan Tax Tribunal. Although the settlement provides for a significant reduction in taxable value and revenue to the city over the next several years, it also avoided the payout of what it could have been catastrophic refunds for 2018 and 2019 tax years from the City of Trenton, Trenton Public Schools, and all the other taxing authorities here as well. Much like the sites of the former McLeod and Riverside Hospital, the city is certainly committed to working with DTE Energy proactively for the responsible demolition, cleanup, and repurposing of the Trenton Channel plant upon its closure. And the big announcement for those that haven't heard, we're certainly pleased with this morning's announcement of a finalized deal between the state of Michigan, Wayne County, and the city of Woodhaven to get started on an underpass at the railroad tracks on Allen Road in Woodhaven that will provide a tremendous relief to our residents on the south end of our town. We're continuing to prioritize the grade separation for 4th Street as well as a public safety issue and as a major thoroughfare to Beaumont Hospital for emergency vehicles in our school district as well. We're looking at every angle possible to accomplish this, whether it be through legislature, public-private partnerships, whatever it takes. We hopefully there is a day when we can look back and say, I can't believe we used to have to worry about those trains. I'm going over my own self-driven time limit here, I apologize. But lastly here, as we wrap up, I wanted to say thank you to all of our city employees, to everyone that's here, whether it be department heads or anyone that was able to make it, but everyone that works for the city. These are the people that make all of these things possible. Whether it's a police officer or a paramedic responding to an accident or some sort of emergency, a DPW employee working on plowing our roads during one of the terrible winter storms or fixing a water main break, a clerical employee at City Hall processing a voter registration form or a building permit, or a department head that's stuck at a council meeting far too late with the rest of us. The city wouldn't be what it is today without everyone here that works for it, and they certainly deserve a round of applause. I can assure you that none of them are in it for the money, but it's definitely, and it's certainly not always the smiling faces of residents that they get to deal with, but they are the people that have the passion for giving back and doing things that make our community what it is today. So thank you all again for being here today and for doing all it is that you do to make Trenton what it is. I just am so incredibly proud that I get to call Trenton my hometown. While we unquestionably face many challenges as a community going forward, with every great challenge comes an even greater opportunity for us to come out even stronger. And remember that alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, so everybody planned on being here until 1:30, so Stephen, thank you, you finished timely. We got a couple choices. I can recap the events, or we can have Mike McCullough come back up and speak. As a reminder, again, since we have a little bit of time, I just wanted to ask everyone to please consider coming to the Shamrockin' on the River. That's March 7th. Get your green on. It's a big party. It's a lot of fun. Again, on February 22nd, we have the Family Fun Fair. Grab your children, grab your grandchildren. Please consider sponsorship. It's an absolute wonderful family event. And then on February 24th, we have the blood drive from 1 to 7 right here in memory of Kyle. With that, I'd like to call up Paulette. She's going to do the drawing for our 2 free tickets worth $110 to Shamrockin' on the River. Mayor, would you pick a ticket, please?
Is this a conflict of interest? Because I could potentially win.
Only if you.
Oops, you dropped one. Oh, sorry, I was out of my sleeve.
781-993.
I didn't do it, don't worry. Whoever came in 19 spots ahead of me, though.
Lucky Chriselle. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. I'd also like to give another shout out to the sponsors, MSC Land, and our friends from Beaumont. Thanks again. Enjoy your afternoon.